I've been teaching piano for over 20 years, and what we're going to cover in today's video is hands down one of the most surprisingly powerful ways to fix your rhythm. And I don't just mean your rhythm in theory, I mean your real internal pulse. The kind that shows up for you even when the metronome's off, even when the tempo changes, and when you need your hands to actually play in time. Most adult piano players are either working really hard on rhythm and not getting very far, or avoiding it entirely because it feels impossible. But today we're gonna change that with something I haven't seen anyone else teach before. For the first time here on the YouTube channel, I'm walking you through one of the most powerful rhythm practice methods. I teach this to all of my private students, and you are going to learn it with me here in just 3 steps. Hey piano people, I'm Ashlee. Welcome to Ashlee Young Music Studio, where you learn to practice smarter, not harder. Let's dive in. We're gonna go over this in 3 simple steps, and I'm gonna do something a little different that I've never done on the channel, where I'm actually gonna share my screen with you and really dive in as if you and I were sitting right here in my studio and I were teaching you a one-on-one lesson. But before we do that, you have to know something. It's a truth that not a lot of piano players understand, which is that rhythm is not just about being able to see the note values and hold them for the right amount of time. Rhythm has a lot to do with how your brain processes and remembers information. And one of the fastest ways to jumpstart your brain's ability to process information and rhythm is to stop overwhelming your brain by trying to play all the things that you see on the page and pay attention to the rhythm at the same time. And instead, to just listen to the piece of music and practice counting along with it while you follow the score. It takes the pressure off of your hands and helps your brain internalize the rhythmic structure in a deeper and more intuitive way. And I know this sounds simple enough, right? But what I've actually found is that when I walk piano players through this, it's surprisingly more difficult than it sounds. I wanna make sure you know how to do it correctly and that you don't skip steps, so let's break it down. So step 1 is that you are going to get your sheet music ready. And you can see right here that I've done this for us. Now, when you go to do this for a piece that you're working on, you're actually going to write all of the counting in the piece. And this is an essential step because first of all, it helps you get clarity on what the counting actually is. But the second thing that it does is it actually gives you a visual anchor for every single beat in the piece so that as you listen to a recording and try to follow along with the score, you have a much lower likelihood of getting lost and a much higher likelihood of being able to do it with success. Now, for the sake of this video, I actually created a free PDF for you that has all of the counting written in for this piece that we're going to go over. So if you want to pause the video and download the PDF right now, you can actually have the physical copy with you. If not, that's fine too. You can watch on the screen and then print it off afterwards because I'm going to give you some homework and you're going to want that physical copy, whether it's actual paper or on another device to follow along with the recording. Now, step 2 is that you are going to listen to the piece and find the pulse. And you're gonna do this while you actually follow along with the music. This step can sound a little scary if you've never done this before, but we're gonna do it together. And that's why I wanted to try out this new setup so I could actually put this on the screen for you. And we're going to follow along at the same time and listen, and I'm gonna help you find the pulse. Now, if you've never done this before, chances are it's gonna feel a little bit awkward, and that's okay, we're gonna do it together. One of the things that's important as you go through step 2 and step 3 is to just keep trying until you have success, because you won't have success the first time. You might not even have success the second or third or fourth or fifth time, but just keep trying because you will get to that point that you have success. And the other thing that I want to note for you is that at any point you can so I would recommend you watch this video through and then come back and actually practice this with me. Because if you do that, it really truly will be like we are sitting together in a studio having a one-on-one lesson. Okay, so here's our music. When I say find the pulse, what that means is we're going to kind of tap or clap along until we can find the main beats. You can see that this piece is in 4/4 time. It's in common time. And so we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 eventually. But for now, we're just gonna try to find those big beats. We don't even have to worry about counting them. And you might find that you'll start listening and it'll take you a couple of beats or measures to find the pulse. That's okay. So let's give it a try. You can clap along with me. You can try to get your eyes to follow the music. I think I'm pointing. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see my little mouse bouncing. 1, dum, bum, bum. Hopefully you can feel that pulse though. All right, not too bad. Okay, So let's try that again. We're gonna go back and we're just gonna try to find the pulse again. And like I said, if it doesn't happen immediately, that's okay. Just try to follow along to the best of your ability. Clap with me. Nice. Okay, so hopefully you were able to at least clap along with me, whether or not you found the pulse. And one thing that I want to note for you when you go to do this in a piece of your own is that this step is a little bit tricky. You have to find the time signature first, right? If you don't know how many beats are in each measure, you're not going to have any idea where those beats are. And the other thing I want to point out to you is to make sure that you are finding the larger beat. This is actually quite a deep topic, and I should probably do a video just on this topic, but when you're looking at a piece, depending on the time signature, and depending on the note values, there are a lot of different ways that you can subdivide the rhythm. So for example, in this piece that we are working on here, you know, we're in 4/4 time and the quarter note gets 1 beat, but there's a lot of subdivisions. You can see there's like 16th notes and 8th notes and dotted notes and all sorts of things. So you want to make sure when you're finding the pulse, you're finding like the actual note value that gets 1 beat, if that makes sense. Because another thing that could accidentally happen here is I could accidentally start to find the pulse of the subdivisions of like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And so you want to get that level of clarity in your piece. And it's very, very important. But if you don't have that level of clarity, don't just say like, oh, it's fine. I'm just going to like skip over that and go on. No, that's going to like lead to a lot of confusion later down the road. So make sure you have that level of clarity. This is something that people in Casual to Confident post in the community all the time. We help them figure it out, and you can post it in the Facebook community and see if people can help you find like the main pulse, because you want to make sure you have that main pulse. Okay, we're gonna go on to step 3. But before we do that, if this video already has your gears turning, I want you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because I release content every other week and you don't want to miss these videos. I am putting so much thought and time and care into making sure that every single one of these videos is really jam-packed with a ton of actionable information that will help you get better, like right now, starting today. You can take what we're doing and you can do it right now and see instant results. So subscribe and turn on the bell so that you are notified every single time these videos come out. And then the last thing that you can do is copy the link and share it with a friend or share it online with a community of piano players who also would find this information helpful. There are so many adult piano players that I come across every single day who are so grateful when they find videos that actually help them move the needle in their piano journey. And that's what this video does. So share this link with a friend or a community of adult piano players. And then the other thing I want you to do is mark your calendar, friends, because Piano Practice Lab is happening again. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know what that is, this is so exciting. And if you've been waiting, I can't wait to share. So Piano Practice Lab is going to be happening in just a few short weeks. This is a free event where you and I hang out live in Zoom for 4 days of piano classes. You learn how to design a weekly practice routine that really accelerates your trajectory to confident musical expression. You learn what makes a practice routine effective, what is a waste of time, and what are the methods that you actually are going to implement to make sure that every single time you sit down to practice, you are making measurable progress. You get a ton of other freebies as well, and I'm gonna drop the link in the description. Reserve your seat now because they do fill up really, really fast. Last time we had over 1,000 people register for this event. I can't wait to see you there. All right, step 3, my favorite part. You're gonna count out loud while you listen and follow along with the music. This is where the real transformation happens. Now I'm gonna actually dive in and try it with you before you get too scared and turn the video off. It's okay if you don't get this 100% the first time. In fact, I can almost promise you, you're not going to be able to do it perfectly the first time. It's gonna take some time for you to be able to do this, and that's okay. And it's the working through that discomfort of like not knowing how to count it while you listen and then eventually learning how to count it while you listen. That's actually where all of the growth and progress is happening. Okay, so let's actually work on it together. And again, if you don't immediately click on to the beat in like the very first try, that's okay. Follow along with me, and I want you to actually say these numbers out loud with me because especially if you've never done this before, this is where the true progress is gonna happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, keep going. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay, I have to tell you all, this is just, I wasn't actually gonna share this in the video, but this is so funny. So this is a recording of me playing this piece, right? And when I was looking for recordings, I wanted to do a recording of me because I didn't want to do, like, YouTube will give me a copyright claim if I use someone else's video. And I didn't want to mess around with that. So I was looking for a recording of me, but all of a sudden all of my rhythm and counting was really coming under the spotlight. And I was like, I have to find an example where I do play really in time and where you actually can find the beat. So it's just really funny. I was like agonizing over this example of like, am I actually playing in time? Can I use this as an example? And for the most part, yes. Okay, so you see how we follow along and how we count. This is gonna feel really foreign to you if you've never done this before. And it's gonna feel like you're kind of second guessing every step and second guessing every beat. But I want you to channel your inner conductor, right? And just kind of find that tempo. Once you found the pulse in step 2, you kind of know the tempo and just apply the numbers to it. And if you did step 1 and you wrote the counting in, then you know the numbers, they're right there in front of your eyes. And so you just try your best, right? And you'll realize eventually if you're off. But if you trust yourself and you just do it, even if it feels uncomfortable, that's where you start to kind of like wade through the mistakes and wade through the discomfort and eventually get to the point that you can do it successfully. And this is where a lot of adult piano players, even if there's hope on the horizon, like even if they are almost doing it, they kind of give up because it feels uncomfortable or they're not sure if they're doing it correctly. So I want to say, give yourself like a few minutes to do this each day. You don't have to do the whole piece, right? Like we're just even focusing on the first couple of phrases and that's fine. Just doing the same few phrases over and over again is really going to strengthen your internal pulse, even if you've never done this before. Now, if you're totally lost, you're not hopeless. Just come back to this video and rewind and follow along with me many times in a row until you get it, because you will get it eventually. It might even take 5 or 10 or 50 tries before it clicks, and that's okay. Now, one more thing about this method, just like all of the other revolutionary practice methods that I teach, it's okay to work in small sections. It's okay to go slow. And you can actually, here, I'll show you. You can actually go down here to the little gears icon and click on that and go to playback speed and click on that and go down to, go down to like 0.5 speed. And you know, have yourself do it even a little bit slower than you think you need to. That's totally fine. But just like with the other revolutionary practice methods, this method also isn't going to work if you skip steps, right? So make sure that you do in fact write in the counting, listen and just find the pulse and don't worry about the counting yet, and then count and listen at the same time. A pro tip that I want to let you know before we wrap up this video is that if you find that you are having success, right, or eventually you're having some success with some of the piece, but the same 2 or 3 spots keep tripping you up, like you consistently get lost or can't count your way through those spots, those are the sections to put a big circle around and to go work on the rhythm, because that's a really good indication that you are not clear on what's going on rhythmically there, and that's why they keep going wrong. All right, your homework. You're going to download this PDF that I linked in the description, print out the hide-in or pull it up on an iPad or on a computer. You can use this link to this video. I'm also going to include that in the description here. And go ahead and either go out on your own and try to do this until you can do it with this piece first and then do it with a piece of yours, or come back, watch this video over and over again and walk through these steps with me and let me guide you. Listen to the parts where I'm actually clapping, where I'm actually counting, and do it with me until you start to feel confident to do it on your own. And this video is one example of how understanding patterns, especially rhythm in this example, right, can really help to make it easier for you to sight read and read music so much faster. And if you don't get my emails, then you might have missed that I recently came out with a course that's all about that. It's called Read Music 10 Times Faster. And inside you learn not just rhythm patterns, but all sorts of other musical patterns, major and minor chords, key signatures, intervals, notes that can really help speed up the process of sight reading and learning music. Because once you start to understand and start to see that rhythm is really just a series of patterns on a page, it's so much easier and so much less overwhelming. This course is built for adult piano players who want to read faster, play more confidently, and stop second guessing themselves. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. Most rhythm problems don't come from a lack of talent. They come from not being taught how to listen and process rhythm on a deep level. And that's what this video was. If it helped you, share the link. Reserve your free seat in Piano Practice Lab right here on the end screen. I'm also going to link to another video that shows you how to master complicated rhythm patterns if that's something that you're struggling with. Happy practicing.